Yes. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Veterans Minimum. I'm excited for this one. My guys, Impy in the building.
Yo.
Luca, you got the shirt?
Big Supermax. They flew to Slovenia to give him the contract.
I feel that.
Young Lint boys.
Young Limp Boys.
They flew the entire Dallas Mavericks organization.
You heard the famous quote about Mark Cuban with Luca? What he said that one time with his wife? It's like, yo, if your wife wanted a divorce, or you could pick Luca. Like, your wife was going to get a divorce, or you could keep Luca. What would you do? He's like, yo, meet me at my lawyer's office.
Yeah. I mean,
Dunbar in the building, too.
yeah, I'm not here.
But before we get into some NBA stuff, I want to run through the free agents and whatnot. I want to ask you guys something just to have a little fun with this one. I've been looking at flights because I want to go on a vacation. You guys seen that video recently of that dude that got duct taped to Spirit Airlines?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would you do if you were in that scenario? Not that you would act a fool to that point, but if you were in that flight with that guy.
Kudos to the flight attendant, right? Because I'm not sure what the right move is to do there. I think initially he got in trouble by his employer, and then once that happened, everyone's like, how could you possibly get the, how could you like give this guy a suspension or anything? He clearly did what needed to be done in that scenario. So kudos to that guy in a situation where you really have no idea what to do. Like
Yo, when we say the word legend, that's like that act is what the term legend means.
yes.
What's the worst flight experience you've been on?
Probably just some turbulence going to Greece, just flying over the Atlantic, like an 8-hour-and-a-half flight, depending on like the wind pattern or whatever. And just like the vulnerability of like you up in the air like that and just not knowing. And then like you're hitting turbulence and the plane's like shaking. You're like, oh, fuck, is this about to go down right now?
Bro, first time I went to Vegas, I was on the flight with, I think I've told this story before, but Joey and I are on a flight, and we did a layover in Chicago to save like $90. Mad cheap. This was like when we were like still broke boys. Yo, from Chicago to Vegas on Spirit, on everything, bro. At one point, the plane was free falling.
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
And I'm just like, because I always sleep on flights, and everyone that travels with me is like, yo, how do you sleep on a flight? Like, I slept going to Toronto, and it's like a 45-minute flight. So I'm just like this, right? And Joey's to my left. I'm just like this. And you just hear people go, oh. People are crying and shit. Yo, I literally do this. I just go, all right, time to pray. I was like, yo, we're done.
That thing
like,
on
yo,
Spirit reminded me of Wolf of Wall Street.
We're out, bro.
You remember that scene in Wolf of Wall Street? When they take all the drugs and they're going to his bachelor party in Vegas. And he starts like trying to fuck the flight attendant and he's like bugging out. And they're like, yo, like he had the flight attendant bent over like on his seat and he was like grabbing her like around the neck and like he was like dry humping her. And then he wakes up the next morning. It was earlier the next morning and he's like seatbelted. Like with like belts.
Yeah.
To the seat.
That's
and
like what happened.
And he woke up and he's like this, he can't get, it's like he's in a straitjacket.
That's
There's
how it
just
was for
funny
that
shit
dude
out
on the flight. Yo, how do you act like that, man? Like, how pissed off do you have to be? Like, what do they got to do to you for you to react that way? Because, yo, there's nothing you could do, right?
People get triggered by like people are crazy. Like we always say, like our saying is like people die for less. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's people out there that are like the littlest thing will trigger them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they probably served him a drink with ice in it, and he's like, I didn't have fucking ask for ice. Like, you know what I mean? There's people that are like that. You know what I mean? Like, and that'll set someone off. That's borderline crazy. A little thing like that will set someone off.
Considering what he did, what was reported was groped two flight attendants,
I heard him.
smacked them in the ass or whatever,
Yeah.
supposedly spit on someone.
Oh, at that point, it's like, yo,
Yeah.
you're getting put to
Well,
sleep,
he's lucky
bro.
he didn't get his ass whooped.
Yeah.
That deserves an ass whooping. That doesn't deserve.
Yeah,
to
put
get,
him
like,
in a choke and just put him to sleep for like 8 hours.
100%.
Night.
And usually, I don't know if Spirit, because Spirit is Spirit, but usually on every single flight since 9/11, there's a marshal on board that's armed, you know, just in case anything. That's like trained, like with a black belt or some type of like self-defense training in case there's someone on board, they can like disarm them or, you know, something along those lines.
Yeah, there needs to be like some type of a protocol.
Yeah.
on all those types of flights for something like that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Spirit, I don't know, because like
Yeah.
I feel like there's like a lottery in the beginning before you fly Spirit. Like, who wants to ride in the cockpit?
Yeah, I
today?
remember they
'Cause,
were
like,
charging
it's-
$100 for to like check your luggage in.
But that's the thing. Supposedly with Spirit, and take this with a grain of salt. I've never flown Spirit, but everyone tells me that the flights are cheap, but
They
they
are.
get you on the add-ons.
Yeah.
You know, regular airline, it's you know,
Everything's included.
or yeah, or like a can of soda, nuts is free.
Oh, they
Spirit,
charge you.
Spirit, everything they charge you for everything.
That's
A bottle
crazy.
of water, nuts, whatever the case is, to check you know, like most airlines, one bag, you could bring one big carry-on or whatever.
Yo, it was $100 for your check-in bag, and then it was like $45.99 for every carry-on. And me and Joe, when we travel, we're like, yo, let's just combine our luggage. We're going there for the weekend. It's not like we have, you know what I mean? So we just put it in one bag. And I paid it going, he paid it coming back.
What'd you go for? You guys took a Vegas
We just
trip?
went. It was the first time we went to Vegas. We went for the weekend.
You two, or you went?
Nah,
you met, okay.
Danny, Dom,
Gotcha,
Espo, and
gotcha,
Frankie
gotcha.
were there already.
Gotcha.
So we met them later on.
Mhm.
But it was like, yo, it's fucking $100 to just check in. Because usually like JetBlue, Delta, and shit, it's like, yo, your first bag is free.
Yeah.
Obviously, even like you could bring like 2 carry-ons too. They don't say nothing. But if you're bringing fucking 7 bags, it's like, yeah, bro. At this point, it's,
Yeah.
you gotta have it.
No, yeah, they need some type of maybe like a stun gun. I don't know.